think I'm ready. I really hope this light isn't too intense. I specifically waited until this time so that I could get the golden hour, except now I honestly can't see a thing. Hey everyone, it's Zoë Kezia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. Why am I so awkward? I don't know. I'm just gonna go over how I started modeling myself because people ask me that a lot, and also give some tips on how to start if that's what you want to do. Even though I didn't get signed at this time, I was scouted when I was 16 by one of London's top agencies. Even though I wasn't signed, I from that point thought that maybe it was something I could actually give a go. I was scouted in the top shop on Oxford Street. They came up to me and one of the friends I was with and said, "Have you ever thought about being a model?" And I was like, no, because I actually hadn't. So then the following year when I was 17, I decided that I was going to apply to the top agencies in London online, which is what I did. I didn't hear from any of them, which was a bit peak, but you know, I can't remember whether I applied a second time or not, but either way, I was like, it's over. I was scouted once, but it doesn't mean anything. When I was still 18, just about, I was on the tube on my way to see one of my friends, and my old agent gave me her card. I called her later that day, then I went in for a meeting with her a week or so later, and then I was signed. I did test shoots and stuff, and I did a couple of runway shows in London and Paris, but other than that, I don't think I actually booked any jobs at all. So it was a bit awkward. Eventually my agent and I decided the best thing for me to do would just be to leave and either find a new agency or just quit completely. And at that point I've kind of been like, I've come this far, I feel as if I should still keep trying. I left at the beginning-ish of this year, not the beginning, just earlier this year. After I left that agency, I just started working freelance. You have to find your own work, which is very difficult. So I did that for a while and also did some shoots to build my portfolio, because my portfolio, I'd done a lot of shoots, but not all of the pictures were top dollar. So I was like, I gotta keep working on my portfolio. When I was working freelance, I had been applying to agencies and they'd all been saying no. So I was like, that's fine, you're missing out on all this, but you know, you do you. Anyway, yeah, so a month ago I went around some agencies. I didn't actually go to that many before I went to the agency that I'm currently with. I'm with Oxygen now, by the way. For Oxygen, I applied online. I emailed them my Polaroids and measurements, and then went in to see them the next day. I had emailed them on a Thursday evening and went in on Friday morning. And yeah, they were like, "We like you," and I was like, really? I've been with them for, I think it's coming up to a month now. So yeah, again, it's still very early days, but I'm happy. Lots is happening and I'm excited for the future. Now, I'm not here to tell you, everyone can be a model, because technically they can. It depends on the kind of modeling you do. A lot of top models were scouted and they're all super tall, super thin. They have the hourglass proportions. So that's kind of how they got to where they are. There are lots of models in the industry as well that actually just applied themselves because they thought they had potential. Doutzen is an example. Is she with IMG? I can't remember what agency she's with, but I do know that she just went in herself and wasn't scouted. Girls are usually between 5'8" and 5'11". If you want to do runway, it's more like 5'10". I'm 5'9" and I've done some runway, but I'm not for Chanel or Prada or anyone. So, but runway girls tend to be really, really tall and really, really thin. Height is changing so much. I can't deal with it. And now my necklace is just shining. Wow. I might take it off. It's irritating me so much. So if you want to sign with an agency, long story short, girls at least 5'8", really more like 5'9". They look for strong bone structure. I'm even lucky in a way because I feel like my bone structure isn't even that strong. I've kind of got an okay jawline, but my cheekbones aren't really cut in the sky or anything. Now, if you want to model but don't have the height, the best thing really to do is just network to the best of your ability. If you have any friends that are into photography, or any friends that are starting their own clothing lines or things like that, you should get in touch with them and ask them if they can shoot you or if you can model for their brand. And that is a good way to kind of get your foot in the door, and also to have pictures of yourself that you could potentially go to an agency with and show them. feel like in most cases, if there's an option to walk in, you should take it. Reason being, a lot of people apply to agencies online. Going through all of them can be pretty jarring, whereas if you walk in, they get to see you in person. Even if you apply online, you're still gonna have to go in and visit them so they can see whether they think you've got the right look or not. If you would prefer to apply online, or you don't live near your nearest agency, then when you apply online and upload pictures, you need to make sure that they can actually see you. Make sure they're taken with natural light. If you can, just take them outside. You'll need a full body shot, headshot, and then a profile shot so they can see your jawline. And then yes, you submit them and you gotta wait. Best ones to apply to, if you go to models.com, there's a tab that says agencies, and you can list them by country. You just go to your country and it will tell you, it like ranks agencies, and look on their websites and see what kinds of models they already have signed. You don't necessarily have to look exactly like them, because a lot of the time they don't need two models that look the same, but you'll be able to tell very quickly like the difference between agencies. An agency like Premier, for example, the super tall, super thin, super angular boys and girls. But then there are also the more commercial agencies that have the more like girl next door sort of look. So I guess it depends on what you look like. If you are somebody that's described as like really pretty by a lot of people, then you're probably more suited to a commercial agency. A lot of high fashion models, they were often picked on at school because of how like tall and lanky they were and how strange their faces were. If you have a more sort of edgy look, then you can go for the more high fashion ones. Just look on the agency you're applying to's website and see whether you're the right vibe. Before, when I made videos and people would ask me questions that I addressed in the video, I'd be like, but I just told you, why are you still asking? If on the website it says don't wear makeup in your snapshots that you're sending, then don't send them. If they say that their walk-ins are from 10 to 12 and 2 to 4, don't show up at 1. Everyone in the fashion world is super busy all the time, and they're kind of like, if you can't even follow simple instructions, you can't be a model. It's as simple as that. But lots of people know by now that models, you know, they have the 34-24, I'm talking about girls here, the 34-24, 34 figure, give or take an inch for each measurement. I want them to be accurate. I think people panic because they think, oh no, you know, I've got like 37-inch hips. Well, if you do have the face that they're looking for, they will still probably invite you. If they think that you do have potential, worst case scenario, they'll tell you to lose weight, and whether you want to do that is up to you. If you don't want to lose weight, then you don't have to. Lots of celebrities and stuff get away with having whatever measurements they want, but that's because they've kind of already made their name for themselves. If you're starting from the very bottom, you kind of have to fit the mold. It's a tough one for some people to accept, but that is how it is. I won't lie, there are some people that have just breezed through so quickly, they don't even know what the word no means. Like one of my friends that I scouted him. He then booked an ASOS job within like a number of days. Honestly, he's just doing bits, and I'm just here like, wow, I scouted you, but I still have not booked any jobs. It honestly can make you feel quite bad about yourself sometimes, but you honestly need to just rise above it. You know, when casting directors, sometimes they're really enthusiastic when they see you and they're like, oh my gosh, we love you, you're amazing, and you're just there like, thanks. Then you wait a few days and you're kind of like, where's my job? And you just never get it, never hear from them again. Sometimes people are outwardly rude to you. When I was at Fashion Week last year, there were people grumbling about my hips. I did a shoot and the photographer said I should go on a diet, and I was kind of like, yeah, I still to this day can't even figure out whether he was joking or not. Either way, it's not a funny joke. Just stop that nonsense. There will be rough times, people will be rude to you, you will hear the word no maybe more times than you hear the word yes. That's certainly the case with me. The whole weight thing as well, people have issues with body image anyway, so for somebody to come and tell you that you're not skinny enough can really break some people. But again, it's not them telling you that you're fat and like not good enough. It's just whatever client it is they're casting for, that client wants a girl that is size 6, and that's just that. Nothing you can do about it. You're not a bad person because you're not a size 6. You're just not a size 6. Simple. Move on to the next thing. Let's say you get signed and you're going to castings and you're getting jobs. Nobody wants to be around someone that's really negative. Sometimes you're in conditions where you're just like, I just wish I was in bed. Why did I wake up for this? Again, you're gonna have to get used to it. I've had to do lookbook shoots before. Basically, you just stand, face the front, face the side, backwards, and then face the other way, and then you just move on to the next set of clothes. And it's honestly, I find it the most boring thing. It's like you don't even get to, you know, be all with your posing. You literally just stand and then rotate. So boring, but you're getting paid to be there, so you gotta suck it up and smile. Act as if rotating is your favorite pastime. You always have to be positive, because word always travels fast about people. If you were being difficult or moody or rude on set, then not only will whoever was working with you that day not want to work with you again, if somebody else is looking for people to work with, they might open their mouth and be like, ooh, that Zoe girl, she's not very nice, and that would be the end. Be nice to everyone you meet, because you should be a nice person anyway, to be honest. I don't know, sometimes I've seen models that are just like, don't talk to me, and it's like, why are you like this? It's such an unstable profession. Sometimes you might book loads of jobs in a week, and you know, that's great, you get your money, fantastic. The next month you might not get anything. Like me, you might get basically no jobs the entire time that you've been signed. You are trying, you're kind of getting there, but at the same time you're not really anywhere. You're just floating in between somewhere. You've done some runway shows, you've done a couple magazine editorials, but other than that, what have you actually done? Nothing. You're not earning money, you're broke. So it's always important to be doing something else. I know lots of models that go to uni and model on the side, and that's possible, and I think I'm gonna make a video on that as well. If it works out, it works out, and that's great. It may even amazingly get to a point where you think, actually no, I still think even if it's going really well, you should at least complete your degree, especially if you've started it. You might as well just always have a backup plan. Basically, same with anything in life. See, modeling is a very similar profession to lots of others. It seems so superficial, getting your makeup done, getting your hair done, just posing in front of the camera, but honestly it really is an industry that you have to be professional in. You need to be organized, you need to be on top of everything. A lot of planning goes into it, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. If you're willing to put all the work in, determined to make things happen for you, there's no reason why you won't get at least somewhere. I have rambled for so long. I'm gonna have the worst time editing this. It's what, 36-minute mark? Jesus. I hope those tips were helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions, or there are any more like modeling specific videos you'd like me to do. This is one I wanted to make at some point, one specifically for people with dark skin, because yo, it's a whole other ball game. That's a video for another day, because my mouth hurts and the sun is basically set. Leave any questions below. You can follow me on Instagram, it's Zoë Kezia, and other than that, have a great week.